So just find a comfortable position and take a moment to really notice where you feel your body touching the floor. So start to tune into where the head meets the floor, the back of the shoulders and arms. Noticing where your spine, parts of your spine touch the floor. You can also notice, of course, some parts of the spine are curved away from the floor. Be aware of the back of the pelvis on the floor and the back of the legs. And as you begin to sense all those points of contact on the floor, your body on the floor, just let the whole body weight release as much as you can. We can then take a little bit of time to notice the front of the body, especially around the chest and the abdomen. Just sensing the breath. How does your breathing feel today? Noticing the quality of your breath. And then when you feel ready, let's bring the feet to the floor. So we'll start with the arch and flatten movement. And you can just maybe it might be helpful to bring one hand to the belly, or maybe even both hands to the belly, just around the, kind of between the navel and the lower breastbone. It's called the xiphoid or xiphoid process. And here, we're trying to notice, is there any movement? Do we feel movement in the abdomen as we breathe? Ideally, there is a little bit of movement there. Sometimes you might find that as you breathe in, the belly sinks down. So ideally, the belly rises as you breathe in and sinks as you breathe out. But if we're very much a chest breather, what we'll find is if we just breathe into the chest, the navel kind of sinks down. So see if you can just allow the abdomen to relax a little bit so you can feel this rise and fall. Like you're kind of breathing down into the belly. And then we'll just start by, as we exhale, we're going to contract the abdominal muscles to flatten the lower back to the floor and let the head tip back slightly. And then hold that contraction for a moment and then just release it when you want to breathe in. So you might feel the belly expand a little bit. And then as you exhale, flatten the back. Just a little pause there. So maybe even with your fingers feeling the abdominal muscles contracting. Inhaling, releasing. Try that one more time. Roll the pelvis backwards. As you exhale, head will tip back slightly and then release it. Okay, so that might already have freed up the abdomen a little bit. So now let's go the other way. So this time it's like we're breathing into the hands. You take a breath in and roll the pelvis forward, arching the back. Feel the belly really expanding up into the hands, and then on the exhale, just release to neutral. So as you roll your pelvis forward on the inhale, it's your back muscles that are contracting there, and then slowly releasing. So we're doing this movement, seeing if we can connect to the breath here, inhaling to arch. Feel the back muscles contract, exhale to release. Okay, let's go arch into the arch and flatten. So we'll start with the flatten first. So take a normal breath in. As you exhale, flatten the back. Feel the tummy muscles contract, maybe using your hands there, still feeling that. And now breathing in, really, as you arch back, really feeling the belly expanding. And then releasing, flattening the back. Abdominal muscles will contract a little bit. Head tips back. And then inhaling, arching. And then exhaling, flattening again. And noticing that movement in the pelvis and in the head, the rolling movement of the head with this. And you can do one more. And then come back to neutral for a moment. And then this time take the hands behind the head, so we'll go into the arch and curl. And so basically the same as what we're doing before, but this time on the exhale, as we flatten the lower back to the floor, we lift the head and point the elbows to the knees. So when you're ready, let's arch the back, inhaling. As you exhale, let the lower back flatten as you lift the head. Point the elbows forward. Feel those tummy muscles contract. Slowly release. Inhaling, arch. Exhale, flatten the back and then curl up. Elbows point forward. Rounding out the lower back. Inhale, arch. Go in your own time, of course, with your breath. Exhale to flatten and lift. Pointing the elbows forward, really trying to get those shoulders off the floor by contracting the front of the body. We'll do that one more time. Great, and then let's just release the head down for a moment and see what you notice, particularly with the breathing. Is there any more movement around the abdomen? Okay, so we're going to add in just an arm movement here. So arms are just down by the side. So this is just an arm movement here. So we're going to take the arms overhead as we inhale. And then as you exhale, bring the arms down by the side. And notice as you repeat that where you feel the breath. You might sense that now, of course, when you take the arms overhead, the abdomen gets stretched. So it's not so much a belly breath, but more like a chest breath. We're breathing into the chest. We're always breathing into the chest, but when we breathe a little bit deeper and the arms in certain positions, then arms down by the side, then the breath pushes onto the diaphragm, which presses the belly out. But here, the arms raising takes lift the rib cage, which means you feel the breath a little bit more in the rib cage, connecting with the breath. And you allow the movement to follow the breath. Okay, try that one more time. So we can sense the in that position the air coming into the chest filling up. So let's go into a side bend. So we'll roll onto the left side of the body. So we'll kind of focus on a bit of contracting, releasing through the side of the chest, side of the waist. And you can use your left arm to support the head. If that's not comfortable, place a cushion or a yoga block under the head. And you can try and bring the knees up level with the hips. So your knees, if you look at them, should be as high as your hips. One knee on top of the other, the feet together. And the top hand can just stay on the side of the waist, and then keep the shins and the spine roughly parallel to each other. When you're ready, take a breath in, feel the side ribs expand, and as you exhale, just lift your foot straight up toward the ceiling, not in toward the buttock, but just up toward the ceiling. Inhale, slowly release it. Exhale, lift. So of course here we get an internal rotation at the hip. And then when the foot lifts a bit higher, the side of the pelvis draws up towards the armpit. So there's a contraction there. Okay. Now bring the hand over the top of the head. So if you can, your hand place it on the very top of the head and reaching toward the underneath ear. So you're trying not to take the hand behind the head because that will kind of push the head forward a little bit. So imagining that you line up against the wall, taking a breath in, and as you exhale, just lift the head, contracting the muscles at the side of the waist. Inhale, release down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, release. And then lift. And inhale, release. Okay, see if you can add in the foot with that. So when you're ready, take a breath in. As you exhale, lift the foot, lift the head. Try and bring the armpit and hip bone towards each other. Inhale, release it. Exhale, lift, head and foot. Then inhale, release. Try that 1 or 2 more times. Go slowly. So we're getting a bit of a side bend, of course, but also really focusing on how well we're controlling that movement. And of course, the contracting, releasing is what we call pandiculating. We're pandiculating muscles at the side of the waist. You can roll onto your back for a moment, take a little pause, and see what you notice, and 2 sides of the body. Even noticing around the chest if it feels any different on one side. Okay, and then let's try that on the other side. So we'll just roll to the other side. You can use your arm, support the head, knees come up level with the hips, feet come out a little bit, so shins and spine are roughly parallel. We'll just try lifting the foot first. So you take a breath in as you exhale, top foot lift. Inhale, release it. So here, if you're finding that your hip doesn't feel like anything's happening at the side of the waist, you could try lifting both feet together and see if that makes any difference. Sometimes people find that kind of helps, lifting both feet. So that's just a variation, and then obviously with these kind of variations, it's always good to kind of just explore them. So there's no like right, one is right and one's wrong. It's just what's the effect. Okay, good. Take the hand over the head, and so the hands reach toward the underneath ears. You're supporting the head. And taking a breath in, exhaling, lifting the head. Inhaling, releasing. Exhaling, lifting the head. Feel the side of the waist contract. Inhale, release. Take one more, just the hair. And then if you want, you can add in the feet or the foot lifting. Inhale as you exhale, foot and head lifts. Inhale to release. Exhale, foot and head lift. Inhale to release. Remember, we're going nice and slow with this. Try 1 or 2 more times. Try to feel that you're really kind of sliding up against the wall. Whole back of the body is like against the wall. Okay, let's roll onto the back. So we'll we'll see how it feels. Just last time coming onto the back there. Noticing the breath. Noticing the 2 sides of the body. And then hopefully we feel a little bit more balanced out. Okay, that's great. So let's take the feet to the floor and a little bit of foot and hip movement. So if we take hold of the knees, we're just getting some movement into the toes. So we want to get the whole body in our awareness, if you like. So by moving the joints like this, we start to map the body and the brain. And then get the movement into the feet. So the ankle joints now, taking the feet up and down, circling around, going the other way. Bring your left foot to the floor, and you can release the right knee, but let the foot, keep the foot lifted as you just take the knee around in a circle. And then go the other way. Right, and then just swap over the legs, so lift your other foot and take the knee around in a circle. And then going the other way. Noticing what's happening with your breath as you do this. Right, and then let's, from there, let's roll to the side, push yourself up. And we'll come onto the hands and knees. And we'll go into our cat pose. So we're on the hands and knees. This is like doing the arch and flatten, but now on the hands and knees. So basically we're gonna take a breath in. And as you exhale, you're gonna draw the navel in and up. You feel like you're contracting around the abdomen. Then as you inhale, let the belly release down. Feel the breath expanding into the belly, into the chest as you take the gaze forward. And then exhale, draw the navel in and up. The back is flexing. And then releasing the navel as you inhale down towards the floor, and then the chest expands as you look forward. And just repeat a few times. And then something else you could add into this is a leg lift. So the next time you come back to the extended position, so when you're lifting the tailbone, you can try extending out your right leg. And then exhaling, bringing the knee in toward the chest, head in toward the knee. Like you're squeezing out that side of the chest. Inhaling, put the leg up, and exhale. Bring the knee in toward the chest, head toward the knee. One more time on that side. And then swap over the legs. Inhale, left leg reaches out and up. Exhale, bringing in the knee toward the chest, head towards the knee. Really feeling that movement connecting with your breath. Nice fluid movement there. One more time. Okay, and then from there, we'll come up to standing, so we can move the shoulders and then the rest of the body. So to come up to standing, and if you could lift your knees into downward dog, you could try that. And if you can't, then just come up to standing any way you can. And then you're just pressing one heel at a time toward the floor, just noticing your breath. When you're ready, walking the hands back towards the feet. And slowly uncurling up. Okay. Excellent. So good. So we'll get the shoulders and everything moving. So taking the hands out. So let's get some wrist movement there. Taking the hands up and down. And you can try side to side. And then circling. And going the other way. Okay, so let's try some shoulder rolling. So just taking the shoulders forward and up, back and down. Simple shoulder movements here. Really trying to feel what's going on in your shoulder blades at the back. Okay, and then we go the other way. Great, and then try rolling the arms. External rotation, in breath, and then internal rotation on the out breath. So you inhale as you roll the arms out, you let the chest lift a little bit, exhale as you roll the arms in, let the chest sink a bit, almost like you're doing a standing cat pose with this. Okay, then we can take it into some big arm circles, so taking the arms up, crossing the wrist, inhaling, and then exhaling, arms coming out, down to the side. Then with your breath, last one. Right, and then let's take the feet a bit wider. We'll have a little turn. From side to side. Okay, and then coming back to the center. So let's just try some couple of balancing movements. So we'll kind of keep it moving now. So we'll take the feet a little bit wider. And you're just going to shift the weight into your right foot. See if you can lift the toes of the left foot. Bring the arms up. Foot comes back. Arms come back. Shift the weight over. Expand out from navel to periphery. Link it with the breath. So you might find you're inhaling as you expand out to the side. Exhaling as you come back. Inhale as you expand out. Exhale as you come back. So one thing you could, if you feel like it, you're feeling energetic enough, as you come back to center, you just go into a little wide leg squat. If that feels okay, check the knees are happy with that. And then you expand out. You come back, hands come together, knees line up with your toes. Going into the squat just as deep as you can and expanding out. So getting the legs working, make sure you're happy with the squat. You know, if you can't manage, you could always bring hands to knees if you wanted, if that feels better. But otherwise, you're just using your legs to really do the work there. Keeping those legs nice and strong. Okay, one more time to the other side. Right, and then just coming back to center. We can have a little soft turn again. Good. So let's, if we just come to the front of the mat, we'll try 2 or 3 yoga poses to kind of work with whole body movement. So just coming to the front of the mat, we'll go into the warrior one, and this one you've got the feet back hip width apart. So we're just going to take the weight into the right foot, lift the left foot and step back, so that your hips face forward. And as we breathe in, we'll bend the knee and take the arms out and up. So there's a nice extension there, and as we breathe out, we'll bring the arms down, straightening the legs. So you can inhale, take the gaze up slightly, knee bends, chest expands, exhale, release it. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, release. One more time. And from there, as you bring the arms down, can you fold over that front leg, bending the knee a little bit to let the head hang down at the spine. Go into flexion here. Feel the breath expanding to the back of the chest, and then if you can, push into that front foot, nice steady, firm foot to bring yourself all the way up again, raising the arms. And then as you release the arms, stepping forward. We'll try that on the other side. So when you're ready, left foot steps back. So hips facing forward here. So adjust the back foot to find that right position. So when you bend the front knee, the knee lines up with your toes. And inhaling. Reaching up, looking up if that feels okay on the neck. Exhaling, arms coming down. Inhaling. And exhaling. Going with your breath. Try that once more. And then from there, if you can fold over that front leg. A little bit of a forward bend. You can keep the knee slightly bent there because we're not trying to stretch the hamstrings. We're just really focusing on going into an inversion and in this position, flexing the spine. Maybe just sensing the breath in the back of the chest a little bit. When you're ready to push up, push into the front foot. Nice strong leg. Bring yourself up. Hands come up. And then from there, stepping forward. Okay. And then we'll try a little rotation here. So we're going to just do a wide leg forward bend. So you might need a block. And then or you can also bring hands to the floor, knees slightly bent, and we're just going to take the arm out and back. And then we'll try that on the other side. Up and back like this. Okay, so feet wide, so we get some rotation here. Block if you need it, might not need it. You can bend the knees a little bit as you lean forward. You might even try just taking the right hand just behind the back, and then see what happens with your breath in. Just turn the chest, and then come back to center. You might find you're inhaling, and then as you exhale, you turn. And come back, and then turn, and come back. Swap over the hands. So take the left arm behind the back for the moment. Inhale, as you exhale, turn. Try and get the chest turning, as well as the head. Okay, and then bring the hand back. Now this time, if it feels okay, reach the right arm out and up. You turn and bring the hand back. You might stay on that side for a moment, about 3 times. You might find your breath wants to do something different when you raise the arm. I always find when I raise the arm, I feel more natural. I want to inhale. So if that's the case for you, just do that. Swap to the other side. Try not to pull with the arm, but really feel that the arm's just floating up as the chest turns. Come back to center, and then walk the feet in a little bit. And curl up. And bring the feet back. Have a little soft turn. Good. So that just flies by, of course. So just to kind of finish off, let's come to just child pose for a moment. Breath in child pose, and then after that you may like to lie down or something, but let's just all go into child pose for a moment. If you can. If you can't, you might just lie on the floor, poke the knees in toward the chest. Take a deep breath here. Okay, and then we're going to finish there, so you can bring yourself up, right? So in your time, if you want now, you could go to lying down. You might like to do more. That's probably a great warm up then for further practice. I'm going to go and have breakfast, however. So we'll finish. Well, let's just join hands at the heart center. Namaste.